Hello everyone, and welcome to listen to my presentation. Today I'm going to share experience that how would I manage my money, and also I will give you some useful financial tips. And first, I have to thank you to my teacher. Thank you, teacher, you give me a second chance that I can do my presentation. So thank you so much. And now let's begin. And the presentation consists of three parts. First of all, I'm going to make a short introduction about my financial situation before discussing my spending habits. In the next part, I'm going to give you guys a detail about how would I manage my money and also my spending habits. And the last part is I'm going to give you guys a few useful financial tips. And if you follow these principles, I'm sure you're going to save much money in your daily life. And now let's get into the presentation. And first, I'm going to take a short time to talk about me, which is my financial situations. And I usually spend as you can see, I'm a pretty lucky person, and my parents give me everything I need. And I have no part-time job this semester, but I did have part-time job on this semester. But on this semester, I'm too busy, so I decided to quit all the jobs. So anyway, um, this my parents give me $20,000 a month, and I think it's pretty much for me. I think it's even so too much for me, and but I usually only spend like $9,500 a month, and the rest of the money I would deposit in a bank. So I'm not going to say I'm a rich person, but I would say I didn't need to do the find a part-time job to support my daily life. So I have to thank my mom and my dad. So thank you so much. Thankful my mom and my dad. And the second thing I'm going to talk about is my spending habits, which is a critical part of this presentation. And as you can see, I usually spend $1,280 on transportation, and $7,500 on meals, and $720 on entertainment. So at this point, some people would have a question about my entertainment spending. Honestly, I don't have too much. I don't have too much time. I suppose my life is very busy, so I usually don't spend too much time on hanging out with my friends or watching movies. So that's why I usually don't need to spend too much money on entertainment, right? But sometimes I would go to a bookstore or hang out with my friend to enjoy a dinner or something, and so and I mm, and for the rest of the money, I would dispose it in the bank, and it would become my emergency fund and future investment. And if I plan to do something about my current deployments in the future, this money will help me a lot. And the last part of this presentation, I will give you some useful financial tips. The financial tips consist of five suggestions. I will call it five principles. And on the other hand, these suggestions are the road to become a life hacker. And it means to do everything smarter and better, and not just for saving much money, right? But also to become a better person. And the first tip is to drink water, right? And water is free and better for you anyway. Drinking more water can reduce the chance of getting a fever. It also can decrease the daily budget significantly. For example, if you drink bubble tea every day, I'm sure you're going to spend more money after a month, right? So I would suggest you to, if you think just drink water is a difficult challenge for you, I would say you can start from just only drinking bubble tea from twice or third times a week. I think it's okay, right? Okay. And the second tip is don't put too much money in your pockets. If you think you are too busy or lazy to track your daily budget, and I would say it's very a convenient method to help you to control your budget, right? Take my experience. For example, I usually bring no more than $300 every day, and I will reduce the time of withdrawing the money from ATMs. And the third tip is don't make an impulse purchase. For those who always want to buy a new thing or new kind of style, always want to try anything, something new or something like. I would recommend them to delete any application about shopping on the cell phone. So I think it's very important. Like if you can buy something so easily, I'm sure you're going to spend much money. Well, right. And so, and at this point, I'm going to give you guys a concept like. Just before you do anything or make any decision, you have better to think twice or many times. Like, you have to think twice before doing anything, right? Yeah, I'm sure you have to. I'm sure you guys know that. The first tip is just pretty useful for college student. And don't buy books you only use it for a short period of time. Like, and when it comes to going to college or university, the first problem is going to be like I have to spend much money on to buy the textbook, right? But I only use it for one semester. I think it's very unnecessary. Like, and in my opinion, I would suggest you to find a secondhand textbook or just go to find online resources. I'm sure going to make you save much money, right? And the last tip is to skip breakfast from time to time. Like some people would think it's hard to follow, right? Like if you think don't eat breakfast, I think many people would think like it's a crazy way to save money, but actually it's not, right? According to recent research, like skipping breakfast is not going to hurt your body, however, I'm not force you or I'm not encourage you to do that, guys. Just up to you guys. Like, yeah. And before the end of this presentation, I will give you 3 key points to help you remember and review like what I just talk about. The first one is to examine your financial situation before solving problem, right? And you have to find out and face your problem. Before you have to find out your problem before you plan to stop it, right? I think it's very important beginning to control your like financial situation, right? And the second, always think twice before doing any act. And I think it's very important. Like if you follow this rule, like I'm sure you're going to save more much in your daily life. And always think twice and make decisions very carefully. It's a useful way to help you to prevent the trouble and unnecessary spending. And the last one, keep your life simple. And when you follow this rule, you will gradually understand that too many things you don't need it, and if you understand it, you wouldn't spend so much money on this, right? And this is my presentation. And thank you for everybody. Thank you so much to listen to my presentation. And also, thank you, teacher. Thank you so much to give you a second chance to do that. Okay, and this is my presentation, and thank you.